Hey guys, welcome back. We are in freezing cold Minnesota today. Just here for the weekend. I just got in here last night. Today's Saturday, December 31st, almost the first of the year. That's scary. But anyways, we're just gonna jump right into it. Got a couple of skid loaders here I just bought. We got this little guy here. I don't even know what make that is. It looked like a little case when I had bought it, but it's not. And we got a Bobcat 720 that looks like it was kind of restored-ish, kind of sorta, in really good shape. Has auxiliary hydraulics right here, which is super cool. That's a huge must. I mean, it's got all like brand new hydraulic lines. Someone really took care of this. I think the old boy passed away, most likely, and then it just sat up because I just cranked the motor over. I sort of started a little bit. I didn't even think to make a video for some reason. So I got my GoPro out and I started filming, but we got the plugs out. They all look really good. I mean, as good as an old Wisconsin engine can look, I guess. And the plugs look honestly fairly new-ish. Muffler's in really good shape. Usually those are aftermarket something. Oil looks good. Let's see if we can get to the oil. The oil honestly looks pretty good. It's got a couple thousand hours on it. Is that upside down? Oh, it's a 2. 26,445. So it does turn over, which is good. I mean, I know nothing about this machine. So we'll flip this guy on. I haven't done anything except for pull the plug so far. So there's no plugs in it, so it's not going to have compression. But I got some PB blast on in the cylinders because it sounded like it was a little crunchy turning over there. Not like internal broken something, but just it just sounded like the cylinders were dry. And I'm out of PB. I got to go to O'Reilly's here in a little bit. I got to get a slave cylinder for my pickup truck because that is, yeah, she's empty. I think the slave cylinder is getting tired in my pickup truck because it's not really wanting to go in gear. I know the clutch is good, the transmission is good, but I think the slave cylinder is getting tired. I've been feeling the clutch pedal getting softer and softer, so I think that's kind of going out on me. So we're going to change that before we head back to Missouri tomorrow. So let's get you set up here somewhere, and we're going to start putting plugs back in. We'll see if we have spark first. I got my spark tester. We'll go grab that. I think that's all I'm going to need. We'll get you guys set up. Barn cats everywhere. We'll get you guys set up here on another machine somewhere, probably. You can look at me. We'll probably put you on the roof here on the little yellow guy. It's got a brand new Honda GX 690 engine. Those are not cheap motors. So we'll get you set up here. I'm going to get a spark tester set up in line, and we'll see if we got spark. And if we do, great. If not, we're going to have some probably distributor issues. We'll clean points and do that stuff first. All right, guys, watch right here. We're gonna fire the jump pack up quick. Got that on. We're gonna spin the motor over for a few seconds, see if you guys can see any spark back there. It don't sound the best, but the battery is dead also, so my jump pack's not super happy because it's pretty cold out, so we're just working against the odds. So I just got the cap off the distributor. I don't know if you guys can see in there or not, and I don't. Ooh, the cap looks cracked. Yeah, I think the cap is cracked. Well, it should run like that, but we're gonna have to swap that out for sure either way. But anyhow, that is nasty inside of there. So we're gonna clean that cap up quick. I don't want to take the plug wires off just because that's kind of a pain to get back on. I'm gonna mark it all out and make sure they all go back in the right spot. I don't really want to do that. I guess before we take the points and stuff off, let's just clean the cap up, throw it back on quick, and see if we got spark now, because I did not see spark before. I don't know if you guys did, but I surely did not. So we're gonna dig a little deeper. That looks disgusting, so that for sure needs to be cleaned, and then we'll see what we get. All right, take 2 on spark. Watch right here. We got the spark tester set up, distributor cap back on. Let's see what we got. Anything? Let's see. So this is what we're up against here. This is all rusted out pretty good. I mean, it's not like rotted, but you can see all the little surface rust and bubblies and flakes and just stuff, just weathered. I don't think the seal is good on that. I don't think there really is any seal on it. Seems to be hit or miss. Sometimes they have them, sometimes they don't. Mostly on this old stuff, it's pretty well gone. But let's get down here, and I'm gonna try to see if I can get you guys stuffed in here and kind of check out what we got going on. But my hand might just end up being in the way, and we're gonna just try to get to the points here and see if we can sand the points a little bit. I can't really see them at all. It's gonna have to be a little bit blind, and we'll just see if we can get some sandpaper in there and clean them up, throw it back together, see what we got. So that really should be the last thing other than swapping parts out. So we'll see what we got. Alrighty guys, we got you set up, I think pretty decent. I don't think my fat thumbs and fingers are getting in the way. So let's check here. I got the key on, so power on. I might turn the light off. You can see it a little bit better if I can find it. So obviously you see that I'm just trying to, there you go. Little fireworks show down there, so I'll turn the light back, try to get it reset up where I had it. Can't really see that great, but neither can I, so we're both seeing about the same thing. So we got power to the points, so now we just need to clean the points quick, and we should transfer that power to the why am I blanking? To the cap and rotor, and then it should fire off to the plug wires, into the plugs, into the motor. Pop, bang, fart. We should hear something here in a minute. So let's get going. So usually I don't do videos on kind of how-tos, but we got some time. Not like a big rush thing today, so I'll show you. I don't know if we can get a little bit closer. There we go. That looks pretty good, don't it? So I got the power off, and I'm I can't really see as good as you guys. You have a lot better view than I do, actually. I'm just looking in the back of the camera here to see what I'm doing. So I'm separating manually the points, and right here there's a little cam that goes around, and it pushes up on this, and it opens the points. So, and I really should reset the gap probably, but I just want to see if it fires off first. So what you want to do is separate it, get a little piece of sandpaper in between the points, which is at the end here, and then you can just move the sandpaper up and down, and you can use the tip of a screwdriver too. It doesn't need to be sandpaper. That's just ideal. But if you don't have any, you don't have any. It don't matter. I'm sure like anything, honestly, there's a million ways to do it. So I can't even get in here. I really need to get, I don't even have it with me, but I wish I had my points file with me. It'd make it a lot easier. But that's where we need to go with it right there. I just need 2 hands, and can't really get 2 hands on there. This is the problem, especially with this big Carhartt jacket on. Arms are 3 times the size of what they usually are. Yeah, I can't get in there. Shoot. Alright, let me cut the camera off because I need to get kind of where the camera is, and we'll show you the finished product. Alright, we got to go back to the points here. We're still not getting any juice, and I don't exactly know why just yet. So I'm going to turn the motor over with the points right here. We're just going to check for spark to see if it's still sparking, and then from there we'll just have to move on. I don't know. We'll just have to kind of re-clean everything, I think, and sort of retrace our steps, but we should be getting it to the plug wires. Okay, well, we found out, I don't know if you guys saw in the last video, but let me get the flashlight back here. We could not see the points opening and closing here on this cam. So I think the previous owner, whoever redid this, maybe, I don't know, it's just a guess, but I think it could have sat up because someone didn't set the points right and couldn't get spark, but I don't know. So either way though, the points were not moving. They were not opening and closing here, this little finger. It's supposed to open and close, like I was saying on that cam, every revolution. So what you do is you get this to the highest point where this should be open, and then you back off this little set screw and the adjustment screw, and you adjust it. You slide a business card in between, and that sets your point gap. So can't really show it, it's way too tight in there, but let's see if we have spark now. Forgot to shut that flashlight off. Alright, let's see what we got now. I ended up cleaning the points again. We reset the gap. I just watched the last video. The fingers, well, not the fingers, but the points themselves are opening and closing awesome now. So let's see what we get. Let's turn this flashlight off and you can really see it. Yeah, jump pack's just about dead already. It really does not like this cold whatsoever. Alright, we got some new points on here. I think the old ones were just too far gone. So we went out and bought some new points. They just had them right at O'Reilly's. They had them at Napa too, but I had to stop at O'Reilly's and get a clutch slave cylinder and a master cylinder for my pickup. So let's see. This was certainly a bugger to get in or get out, so I can't imagine it's going to be any better getting it in. Alright, we're going to cut here, and I just wanted to show you the points before I put it in. So we're going to cut here, and then we'll get it turned over here in a little bit once we get this all back together. Alright, let's see what we got. Alrighty, so as you guys saw, we have really good spark now. So we're going to toss the plugs back in. I did buy some more PB Blast while we were out at O'Reilly's. I did put just a little bit more in there. I just turned the motor over just a little bit to shoot whatever, between shooting it out and working it in there. So I didn't want all that PB just sitting in the cylinders and then screw something up if we don't have to. So I don't think we really shot any out though. I don't know why. The rings might be stuck on it too. I'm not sure. I'm sure we're gonna have to reseat the rings as we go here. So. So we got spark. We're gonna work on fuel. I did get a fuel filter here. I don't know if you can see this guy, but I did get a new fuel filter so we can actually see if we're getting fuel, because that one's too foggy. And I'm sure it's really old too, which doesn't do us any good. So we got a new one of them. We'll toss that on quick. We get these wires on this side over here. And then we'll go ahead and we'll get this little fuel filter in here, right down there, and I guess we'll just top the fuel tank off. I don't know what condition the fuel tank's in, even, honestly, because the listing said it needed new gas or fresh gas. So I don't know if that just means top it off or what, but we're gonna top it off. So let's try that first. Okie doke, we found the gas tank. Definitely in an unconventional spot. I'd like to save a little bit of this gas for the other skid loader before we get too far. I guess that one runs. I haven't even really hardly looked at it. So I don't know anything about that. I just kind of bought them sight unseen. So we'll see what that one needs next, but I'd like to get this thing fired off first before we do much. I'm sure this tank is huge too, so I'm not sure if only filling it kind of half would even do much or not. I'm not really sure. But let's start with that. See what that gets us. And I'm gonna crank on it for just a minute, and let's see. I'll put you guys back there, but let's see if we can actually visually see gas getting to the fuel filter and see if that mechanical pump's working. It very well could be bad from sitting, so let's find out. All right, see what you can see. I'm not sure that fuel pump's working. I don't know if this is a bleeder here. I don't know a ton about these gas ones, but I'm thinking the carb's probably shot. That's most definitely going to be needing a rebuild. I'm just more or less just trying to go through the steps right now and figure out what does what. But let's try a little bit of ether. Of course, that's back in the truck, so let me grab that. But let's try some ether, see if it pops off. All right, guys, we got some ether. Let's give this a shot, see what happens. We got something. Yeah, I'm thinking that pump's not doing its job, so we could put an inline little electronic one, and that honestly should do the trick. But I'd like to keep it running enough to hopefully maybe try to suck something out. sound bad. It doesn't sound bad for just that half a second there. I don't hear any clunking or nothing. The only grinding I hear is the starter disengaging. So that's all right. Yeah, that fuel pump isn't working. But I'd like to crack that little. I don't know if it's even a bleeder or not. Try it. Worst that could happen is it don't work. I'm gonna try to tap that fuel pump with a hammer, just with a little guy, and we could even try this. What that's maybe potentially doing is just kind of like on a carburetor, but on the fuel pump specifically, there's a little fabric diaphragm or rubber, and sometimes those get stuck from sitting for so long, and I don't know anything about this, so I'm sure it's been sitting for a couple years minimum. But we can try that and maybe see if that did anything at all. Try to get that diaphragm moving again. Ouch. It's starting to get on my finger. No, there's nothing at all. So I think we're gonna need I think we're gonna need a new fuel pump. But I think probably what we'll do is end up just getting a little inline guy. Because then it'll definitely run. I mean 100%. So the only other thing that you could sometimes try is actually pressurizing. Sorry, I had to think. Pressurizing the fuel tank, and then pushing the gasoline up to the filter. Up to the filter, and then you kind of get everything primed. So we could try that, but I don't want to blow that tank out. It could be kind of fragile. I don't know. But I'd rather not do that. She's still smoking. Yeah, we'll see. But I think this is I can't think of anything else I can try offhand, but that guy might be just, it is what it is till we get it back to the shop. So shoot, I wish we had an inline fuel pump. We could absolutely make it work, but we could try taking that fuel pump apart. Just looks like a bunch of little 7mm bolts holding it on there. So we could give that a shot, I guess, and maybe just try to free that diaphragm real quick. So let's give it a shot. Worst that's gonna happen, it ain't gonna work when you're doing it anyways. So all right, guys, we tried it real quick off camera. That fuel pump's shot, so we're not gonna dick around with that anymore. We're just gonna get an electronic fuel pump, cut it out completely, and just be done with it. So yeah, but once we get that, we know once we get it, we give it fuel with the can, with the ether, we know it pops off. So we'll have hopefully a good running machine. Now, obviously, the second step is the hydraulic system. We don't know how good a shape that's in. So it should be good, though. I don't imagine they put all this time and money into it and it wasn't good. But who knows? With it sitting, you know, anything could happen. So we'll cross our fingers and hope for the best. But for now, we're gonna slap this back together. I gotta leave tomorrow morning at some point. I don't know exactly when yet, but just kind of whenever. No real rush, but I'd like to get back because tomorrow's New Year's. I'd like to be back with my girlfriend tomorrow for the new year. And then we can order a couple of parts and hit O'Reilly's and get some stuff for them. But I'd like to top this thing off with some fluid, some hydraulic fluid, and see what it does. Because I like to drive one of these on the trailer. I don't want to winch them both on. That's just not a win for me. So let's do that. I'm going to clean up a couple little tools, and then we'll meet back behind this thing and we'll put some fluid in it. We'll try to fire it up and see what happens. All right, we're back behind this guy. I got some stuff cleaned up. I don't know what kind of fluid it takes exactly, but these old machines usually aren't too picky. But I do have 5 gallons of Universal. I believe I bought Universal tractor hydraulic fluid. So let's hopefully not spill this all over the place and get a little bit inside of the tractor. Well, this is going to take bloody forever. My Lord. Yeah, this is going to take a half a lifetime. The only thing I do know about it is the hydraulic fluid is empty. So there's a good leak somewhere, or a slow leak that nobody tended to. I don't know. Let's see what that looks like. Still sounds empty, but I can see it in there. Barely. Well, I'll keep going a little bit. I'd like to check the oil on this thing before we get too far too. Looks good. All right, let's put some more in. Supposedly it runs good, but we'll find out here in a minute. There's dirt all over this thing. I don't know where the hell they brought it, but there's just dirt caked everywhere on this thing. You just stored in a barn somewhere or what? But it's like literal dirt that just is all over this thing. I just don't know why. But sat outside for a while, I don't know. It looks like it did. That should be enough to get started at least. Okay, let's see if it runs. The battery's dead or what? It's not doing anything. It's like I'm missing something. I thought that it would click, at least. God. Yeah, we'll hook the jump box up. It must be plugged in. See which one's which. That was positive. All right. Well, I guess that battery's good. choke does not want to move. Oh my God. That choke lever does not want to move. Holy cow. Nothing wants to start today, guys. Wow. All right. Well, that's news. News to me. Just stuff some ether down its face. We gotta figure out that choke. That thing is stiffer than hell. Still feels like I'm missing an off switch somewhere though. I would have figured I would have tried to start. Pretty good. Yeah, I paid $1,000 for that thing. I couldn't believe it. Well, running and driving skid loader for $1,000. How could you go wrong with that? I bought a 400-pound anvil. I have no use for it, but $300. I couldn't say no to that. So cool. Yeah, it doesn't smoke it. I mean, that motor's worth more than that skid loader. I paid for the whole thing. That motor new is $2,500, I think. So cool. Yeah, she definitely got a leak here, but that's all right. That's okay. That's the box for the anvil. So yeah, I guess we're done for the day. We're gonna winch this guy on the trailer, I think. Either that or we can run to O'Reilly's quick tomorrow morning. We could pop an inline filter in, and then we can toss it on, and then we could probably drive it on the trailer. To be honest, I don't Couldn't see any reason why we wouldn't be able to. So let's do that, because I'm bound and determined to drive this thing on the trailer. I'm pretty excited, and we got nothing else to do tomorrow anyhow. There's really no big rush to get home, so I'd like to leave a little bit later in the day anyways. Hopefully traffic's a little slower, just nicer leaving later. So yep, Ferguson Equipment, Pocahontas, Iowa. So it's a rounder. It's a rounder 1-600. Interesting. I've never even heard of that. I deal with a lot of equipment. That runs like a top. So we gotta find a leak here somewhere, but I'm not too concerned about it as long as we can get it on the trailer and bring it home, go through it, wash it, make it pretty. So all right guys, catch you later. All right guys, we are home from Minnesota in Missouri. I didn't get us working on the Bobcat and finishing that, but we actually started it up and drove it on the trailer. So pretty cool stuff. It was just the points, and then the carbs really gummed up, so it only runs on full choke. But we're gonna pull it in the shop today. We're gonna tear into the carb, we're gonna rebuild that. Hopefully we don't need anything extra. I'm sure we're gonna probably tear some gaskets and have to replace that, but other than that, it's just gonna need a pressure wash and cleaning, and it'll be good to go. The rounder started smoking like a pig, burning oil as soon as I put any kind of a load on it. When we were in the shop there in his shed, there was no big load on it, so we didn't really get to see it working. So as soon as I brought it out to throw on the trailer, I started smelling oil behind me, and I'm like, oh boy, it smells like it's burning oil. I look behind me and it's just a cloud of freaking smoke. So it was probably a full quart over full, and I didn't even really check it all that close. I just saw oil on the dipstick, and I was like, all right, well, that's good to go, let's fire it up. So it was super dark in the shed too, so it was sort of hard to see. But anyhow, I emptied almost a full quart out of it. It's right in between the low and, well, the fill and the full mark, so it's perfect now. It shouldn't burn any more oil unless there's actual internal damage now from whoever ran it prior. So we'll see. But we got the anvil here too. We're gonna clean that up and we're gonna list that. Those list for about 1,300 bucks new. So if you guys are looking for one, let me know. We're gonna be selling that one cheap. And other than that, we're just gonna pressure wash them and gonna post them for sale. So let's get these guys off the trailer. That thing fires right up, tap of a key. This one starts very well too, fires right up. I'm just gonna let this guy probably roll off the trailer. The Bobcat I still have chained on the bucket, so I think I'm gonna try to, I'm hoping that one stays in place. This one rolls because it's belt driven. So I'm gonna try to jump in the Bobcat once we get this guy off, and then we'll get the Bobcat off in the shop.